Hello and welcome to another episode of Feeding Fatty. This is Roy.
I'm Terry.
Of course, this podcast chronicles our journey, my journey into wellness, losing some weight, also, just wanting to eat better, not uh, just not feeling bad, eating too much, being more active. Just, we're trying to put the whole package together so I can enter later life in a little bit better health and feeling better than what I do now. So what we bring things, different things that we're doing from time to time, but we also bring different guests with different perspectives. And we're very happy today to have Olivier Mankondo. He is a speaker, an author, weight loss coach, wellness coach with a passion for self-help books. He empowers people with the knowledge of plant-based nutrition so that they can make good dietary and lifestyle choices. Through his talks, he's been able to inspire and change a lot of people. And Olivier, welcome to the show. And he is the author of the Plant-Based Nutrition. How's it going to change your life? And it's a very impressive book. So thanks for taking time out of your day to be with us, Olivier.
Thanks very much for having me.
Yeah. And so, we talked a couple weeks ago and, me and Terry have been kicking around this, more of that plant-based, trying not getting rid of meat totally, but trying to move away from eating so much because our, especially where we live here in Texas, barbecue and beef, it's really big, but it can weigh me down for 2 or 3 days after I eat it, it seems like. And so we actually have given this plant-based nutrition with the intermittent fasting a little bit of a whirl this week. So we're excited to have you on and, be able to ask you some questions that have come up for us. So kind of tell us before we get started, though, how did you find yourself here? What made you explore plant-based and kind of jump into that with both feet?
It's happened a little bit. I didn't plan to do it.
Okay.
It was just one day. It was a sudden Wednesday. I was watching a YouTube video, and there was an Indian yogi. His name is Sadhguru, and he was talking about the meat. He was saying that meat was not designed for the human mechanism, and the message was so powerful that I decided that I will go ahead and try it. And it was, like I said, it was a Wednesday, and I spoke to my wife and I told her that I would stop eating meat. And on Thursday, I went to work. And when I came back, I asked her to cook me my last meal of meat. And it's been 5 years. I've not touched meat anymore. So I've stopped all the dairy product, most of the processed food. And it's been like that. So it was not like I was expecting something. It's just because I watched that program and I made my decision.
Okay. Yeah. And you have, for those that haven't seen the book yet, we, number one, want you to go out and pick up a copy. It's a great book. But on the cover, you have a before and after photos of yourself, which is really incredible. If you don't mind sharing, I don't want to get too personal, but about how much weight did you lose between these two photos?
Yeah. So on that photo, my original weight was 100 kilo, which is 220 pounds.
Okay.
And I lost something like 77 pounds. So now my weight is 143 pounds.
Oh,
holy smoke.
Yeah. So, and I lose that in just 9 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so let's take us through this just a little bit because the other twist, I think, it is, if I'm not wrong, that you have is that it's not just plant-based, but it's also this intermittent fasting that you do on top of that. So can you kind of walk us through what your day looks like? I'm sorry, Terry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I was going to say, he said it was 9 months and we talked about it. Or it's like he had a baby, he unbirthed the baby, I guess is what you could say.
Yeah. So what I do basically is that when I wake up in the morning, I don't eat nothing. So I only eat twice a day. So in a week, I've got 14 meals. And at 12, I eat just fruit. And at 7 p.m., I eat either fruit or a salad, or I eat cooked food. So I've got 14 meals. Out of those 14 meals, 11 are raw. So it's fruit or salad. and only 3 cooked meals. And why I do that, it's because when you eat raw, your body doesn't have to produce some type of enzymes, because all these raw food have already got these enzymes, and your body doesn't have to produce that. And basically, it's really soft on your body. That's why I do that. Okay. And why I do intermittent fasting is because our bodies spend 80% of its energy trying to digest food. And when you keep grazing during the day, your body will not have the chance to heal and cleanse. So it's really, really important to not graze, not to eat all the time, because your body can only cleanse and heal when it's not digesting food. It's like, for example, if you've got your car, you take it to the garage to have it fixed, you can't drive it at the same time. And the body, that's how the body works. It can only cleanse and heal when it's not digesting food. And that's why I only eat twice a day. And in between, I have no snack or things like that, just water. Or sometimes I can have homemade juice. That's all I do. Yeah.
Well, and that's what I was wondering the other day. What the difference between the raw versus the cooked plant-based food. Which one was better for you, and the explanation that you just provided. Can we just reiterate? So the raw helps with the digestion. It's just not as hard of a digestion process.
Yeah. So basically what happens is when you eat raw food, those raw food have already got lots of enzymes.
Okay.
So when you eat them, your body will not have to produce those enzymes. And it's very easy for the body to digest raw food. Okay. But when you cook those food, there's a lot of enzyme that your body will have to produce lots of enzymes, and a lot of nutrients as well are destroyed during the cooking stage.
Right.
That's why it's always better to eat raw food. But I don't want to completely stop with the cooked food. That's why I only eat 3 cooked food during the week, and all the rest is raw.
Raw. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's interesting because I've heard that over time, especially with vegetables, is that when we cook them, we actually cook a lot of the goodness out of them as well. Yeah. So that's another good thing about eating the raw. So the other thing that we, in our preliminary talk, we had talked about was milk. And it's funny because I did a little research and was just, and there's a lot of research on both sides. I know that. But the piece that I was reading was a scientist actually that was saying we are one of the only mammals that drinks milk after our infancy, I guess, after we get weaned off of food. That back in the olden days that, people quit drinking milk. But one reason that they went to it is because it's high caloric and it was easy to get. And especially like if you were a herder or something, you had, goat's milk or whatever available to you. But they said that was a definite shift in our body mechanics, from, I guess, during this evolution process, that really, if you drink milk at our age, it should make you sick.
Yeah. So what's really happened is that when you look as well, you will see that human beings is the only species in the entire creation to drink milk from another species. You will never ever see that. You will never see, for example, a cat drinking dog's milk or a goat drinking cow's milk, because every milk is specific to its own species. So for example, if you look at the rabbit's milk, it contains 10 times more proteins than the human milk. And why is that? It's because when the baby rabbit is born, it's so small that it needs to double its size within the first week if it wants to sustain life. If you look at the seal's milk, it contains 40% fat, because the baby seal needs to build up fat very quickly because it's very cold in the North Pole. Okay. You look at the human's milk, it contains lots of lactalbumin because we need to produce amino acid. And you look at the cow's milk, it contains lots of casein. So you can see that every milk is specific to its own species. And when you drink cow's milk, because when the cow is born, it weighs something like 5 stone or 30 kilos. And after 3 months, you need to triple that weight. That's why in the cow's milk, you've got loads and loads of calcium. And when people will drink cow's milk, our body will analyze and see that now we've got too much calcium. And when we go to urinate, we're going to lose that excess calcium to the expense of our own calcium. And in the cow's milk as well, you got loads of phosphorus. And again, our body will have to neutralize that phosphorus. And to do so, it's going to leach out the calcium from our bones, our teeth, and our muscles. And that's why you will see a lot of people suffer from osteoporosis, which is a condition which makes your bone brittle, and you start suffering from the inflammation of the joint. And you will see that in the countries where the milk intake is very high, you will see a high incidence of osteoporosis as well.
Interesting.
And you will see as well that human beings are the only species as well who drink milk when they're adults. You will never see any grown animal drinking milk. And there's an enzyme which is called lactase, which enables people to digest the milk. And when we reach the age between 2 and 4 years old, that enzyme ceases to be produced, which is suggestive that we need to stop drinking milk. And that's why you will see that 70% of the world population is lactose intolerant.
Wow.
You will see that, yeah. And when you drink cow's milk, it's going to give you lots of diseases, such as anemia, ear infection, eczema, asthma, osteoporosis, cancer, obesity, appendicitis. You got lots of all of these diseases. And there's another thing as well, is that when we drink cow's milk, boys and girls will go through puberty at a very early age. And when you go through puberty at a very early age, your body will start producing estrogen in excess. And an increase of estrogen is linked to cancer. And that's why you will see in the future, later on in life, these girls will start suffering from breast cancer, uterus cancer, ovarian cancer, and for boys, it's going to be prostate cancer. So you can see that the dairy products are really not designed for the human mechanism.
So what about in I guess in the world, in our world, like I know we're based in America, you're based in the UK, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So now what about across the world? Are Americans the ones that drink a lot of milk, or is there a lot of animal milk consumed across the world?
Yeah, I would imagine that it's mostly in America, Canada, and in the European countries where the milk intake is very high. Okay. For example, if you go in Africa, you don't really drink that much. And you can see that the incidence of osteoporosis is less in this Africa, in Asia, and stuff like that. So it's mostly in European countries and in America and Canada where you got really that problem.
So one of our challenges, I think, is, of course, we are heavily, protein focused is kind of where we're coming from. And so, moving into plant-based, I know that, there's soy and beans and a lot of other stuff that you can gain protein, but kind of talk through that process, because, as we did this week, we mixed in some beans with our salad, and, we're trying to be conscious about because it's not highly concentrated like beef, trying to work it in wherever we could. So tell us a little bit about how do you work in enough protein in your diet, and then of course some of those sources where you get that from.
Yeah. For example, the example that I like to give to people is that when you look, for example, at the elephant, is the biggest land animal on earth. It's not deficient in protein, but where does he get his protein from? Just from the grains that he eats. Okay. You look at the gorilla, we share 99% of the same DNA. But what do gorilla eat? They eat fruit, vegetables, and tender roots. They do not eat meat. And you can see that the gorilla is very powerful. So if you want to get your protein, what you need to do, you just need to eat lots of legumes like beans, lentils, chickpeas, peas, all this stuff, spinach, and your requirement of protein will be met. You don't have to worry about all these things. You just have to eat all this stuff, all those legumes and stuff, and you will not have no problem at all. It's like me, I've been on eating this way for 5 years, and I'm not deficient in protein. It's just that in the environment that we're living, they've stressed a lot about protein. Everyone needs to need a lot of meat and stuff like that, but that's really not what we should be doing. We should be getting those protein from plants.
Yeah, and I was looking because I was doing a little research on this as well. The other thing that we lose, I think when we take protein is iron, if I'm not correct. But if we eat the spinach and kale, we more than make up for any iron deficiencies that we may see across that. And it was an interesting article, and I'll just put this out there to see if you've read this guy or if you know about it. But he was talking about one thing about our teeth, that we're not carnivores because we weren't designed to be total carnivores, because if you look at our teeth structure, we don't have the fangs for ripping flesh and things like the big cats that eat meat do. And then he also talked about our digestive system. I think that meat eaters have very short digestive systems, where ours is fairly lengthy. And then the opposite side, he was talking about that we're not totally plant either because of our teeth again, but our digestive systems weren't long enough. So it's some interesting concepts to think about, the way that our bodies are designed and the way that we eat today. Not that they are totally all, in line with that, but do you even keep up with how many proteins that you may get in a day? Do you know?
No.
Okay.
I don't do any calorie counts. I don't do any protein count. What I do is just I need a balanced diet. I try to eat but every day I eat fruit. I eat fruit every single day because, like I said, at noon when I eat, it's always fruit. So right. I eat a variety of fruits, and at night I will have, for example, a salad with lettuce, cucumber, tomatoes, onions, and stuff like that. Or I will cook maybe some potatoes with beans and spinach, or maybe some brown rice with mushrooms, lentils, and tempeh, something like that. So I don't keep track of my protein intake because I know that what I eat I will be okay with that.
Okay. Do you eat what's that? Tofu. Yeah. Do you work tofu into your diet as well?
Yes, tofu. Yes, I eat tofu. I eat tempeh. Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, that's
and the tofu has got lots of protein as well. The tofu and the tempeh got lots of protein. Yeah.
Okay. I don't. Can you explain what I don't know what tempeh is.
It's a little bit like tofu. It's made with soya beans.
Oh.
It's it's basically the same process that they use.
Okay.
Yeah, but just the texture, it's different, or the taste is a little bit different, but it's done with soya beans.
Okay. I guess I should ask Terry, do I know what that is? Have we had it? I don't know. Maybe she snuck in. I didn't know.
There's just so many different types, I was going to ask you, so when you started your journey, your plant-based journey, what were the reasonings? I mean, I know that you wanted to lose some weight. Did you have some certain health issues that you wanted to address, and then see maybe if you could deal with those instead of taking medication, deal with those with the plants? What was behind that?
Yeah, like I said, I didn't know anything about the plant-based nutrition. It's just when I watched that program.
Right.
And I decided that I will go ahead with that. But in the meantime, I had lots of health problems. I was suffering from high blood pressure. I had a massive headache every day or every other day. And the headache was so bad that I had to have some painkillers with me all the time. I had dandruffs, chest pain, back pain, abscesses, joint pain. So all this was really bad. And what happened is that when I changed my way of eating, after a week, I lost 11 pounds just in 1 week. And this was very surprising for me. And 4 months into the change, I went to my doctor to have my blood pressure tested, and he was surprised that I didn't have any blood pressure problem anymore. And normally my doctor told me that I would be on medication for the rest of my life. But at that time when he told me that, I said, no, I'm not going to take any medication. And he asked me what I was going to do. And I said, I will try to do some sport. And I joined a karate club because I was trying to, I thought that maybe it's going to solve the problem, but there was no changes. It's only when I stopped eating all the meat product, the dairy product, all this processed food, that my blood pressure went down. And basically all this was without any medication. And for the past 5 years, I've not been sick a single day, not even the cough, the flu, nothing. So my health is really optimal.
Wow.
Okay.
That is
And
awesome.
when you look, for example, my brother as well, my brother has been able to follow that as well. He's been able to lose, I think it's 73 pounds that he's been able to lose. And he had high blood pressure as well. He was pre-diabetic, and he had the psoriasis, which is a skin condition. And the doctor told him that he will have that for the rest of his life. And he had the psoriasis for 8 years. But when I introduced him to this plant-based nutrition, all his problems were gone as well with no medication at all. And my wife as well, she has lost 99 pounds just on this. Yeah.
Well, talking about the inflammation, I've got a little shoulder issue that I tore some ligaments or tendons in years ago. And when I eat wrong, or when I say wrong, when I don't eat correctly, I can feel it restricts my movement, and I can feel the inflammation. But after doing the plant-based for a couple days, I was telling Terry that my range of motion was almost back with this thing. It's been, the last 2 or 3 weeks, it's been killing me and kind of restrictive in what I can do. But it was amazing how different I felt just after a couple days of, eating the plant-based and staying. And we really, I think we still had a little protein in our diets, and we had a refrigerator full of meat that we were trying to, kind of work through as we start into this. But it was amazing how I felt. And then, I don't know which is which, but the other thing was this fasting in the morning. Breakfast used to be my biggest meal, the one I used to look forward to getting up and having. But I haven't really missed it. One thing I've done is I drink coffee, and I put a little ghee in my coffee to thicken it up. So, it's a good fat, but it's heavy enough that I really haven't been hungry in the morning. So that's been an interesting transition. And of course, I think the other great thing for myself is just at 7 o'clock being done, because we were used to snacking late at night, 9 or 10 o'clock, and then going to bed with a full stomach. And you know how that goes. But anyway, So let's talk about the other thing I want to talk about for a minute, is the volume. So, because any people can tend to even abuse good and healthy things. So let's just talk about, what kind of a volume should we expect to eat?
Yeah. So what you have to do is that, like I said, when you're on the plant-based nutrition, you don't have to restrict the way you eat. So what I do is I eat. As soon as I feel full, I stop. That's all you have to do. And it's difficult to binge on fruits. It's very difficult. And because the fruit have got lots of fibers and is full of water, you get full very quickly. So it's difficult really to binge on fruit or plant-based. It's very difficult. So you will tend to feel full really quickly. And as soon as you feel full, you stop eating. That's all you have to do. You don't have to look at small portions. No, just eat. When you feel full, you stop. That's all you have to do.
So what about mixing it up? Because I don't like fruits or vegetables. I like fruits. I like to eat an apple, but an orange or maybe a banana, but vegetables not so much. So I guess, is it important to be experimental, to bring new fruits and vegetables into our mix so that we don't get burned out from just feeling like we just eat a banana every meal or eat an apple every meal?
Yeah, what you have to do is you have to mix all the fruit. So you need to eat really a variety of fruits. And yeah, that's what you have to do. And you have to incorporate that slowly, because if you start eating lots of fruit at one go because you're not used to it, it can have some detrimental consequences. Not in a bad way, but your body will try to detoxify quickly. And this really brings some negative symptoms. It's like me, because I went cold turkey. I remember the first week, I had massive headache for 3 days. I had cold sore. I had what again? Abscesses and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay.
But if you want to avoid that, what you have to do is that you need to incorporate that slowly. And in the meantime, you decrease your intake of meat, dairy products, all this processed food. And at that time, you're not going to suffer from all these detoxifying symptoms. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, great. Well, is there any other, we're just getting close to wrapping up. Is there any other points about plant-based that you want to get out there, or, some of the other great side effects that you've had from it?
That's all the side effect that I had, but in the processed food as plant-based as well, what I would like to add is that a lot of people, when they go on this plant-based nutrition, they tend to replace that with unhealthy vegan processed food, which is really bad as well. You can have that as a treat, but it doesn't have to be your the meal that you will have to eat lots of time, because when you look at the processed food, they are food that has been transformed and resemble to nothing in nature. They're essentially the man-made food. And when you look, you will see that 51% of what we eat as a race is processed food. 42% are animal product, and only 7% are fruit and vegetables. And in those 7%, unfortunately, the majority eats potatoes to make French fries. So we eat very, very little of fresh produce. And when you look at those processed food, they are full of additive, coloring, flavoring, preservative, which are chemical substances not recognized by the body, and they create havoc. And when you look as well, you will see that in this processed food, they've put what is called aspartame. Aspartame is very toxic, and it's a nerve poison. And you find aspartame in more than 10,000 products sold in the supermarket. Wow. You find that in chewing gum, in drinks, in soda, ice cream, breakfast cereal, in lots and lots of products. That's why I always say to people that if they go on this plant-based nutrition, they need to try and eat whole food and avoid the processed food, because the processed food are not good, even if they are vegan.
Okay.
Yeah, just because it says vegan, don't automatically assume that it's going to be healthy for you. I was looking, we like cheese. So I was looking at, I've been seeing a bunch of information about vegan cheeses and all of that. I mean, is there a healthy, well, I guess it would all be processed.
It'd be processed,
wouldn't it?
yeah.
Yes. So for example, even the vegan cheese, they are processed. So for example, if I have to look this month, I mean, today it's the 3rd. Last month, for example, if I have to count the time that I've had this vegan cheese, it's only 1 slice that I've had for the whole month, because they are still processed food.
Right.
Yeah.
I was thinking the other thing was about these vegan sausage patties. Anything like you said, if they have to transform it into something that is not recognizable, probably a good sign that if you eat it, you need to eat it in limited quantities, and it's best just to go over to the vegetable aisle and pull the fresh fruit and vegetables right off the stand there, and just try to find a way to eat them without incorporating these, because goodness, I don't know
organic.
I don't know what it would take to turn something into a vegetable sausage patty, but it's probably probably not good.
It doesn't sound like a good process in my head.
All right. Well, Olivier, we appreciate, we're excited. We're excited to try this. I feel like that, what little we've done has made
Really?
me feel better. I don't
Yeah.
want to speak for Terry, but we
Oh,
felt
for sure.
better, and it's just a matter of getting these things out of our diet and then figuring out, how we can incorporate the fresh fruits and vegetables. So we're
Yeah.
looking forward to it. We're excited, and hopefully in a couple months we'll reach out and have you back on, and we can be your next success story.
Yeah. Yeah, I will be very, very happy to do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Olivier, thank you so much. We really appreciate all of your insight and your story, sharing your story and
Yes.
explanation of
Yeah.
all of the plant-based nutrition.
So, if you
Yeah.
don't mind, tell everybody, of course, how can they pick up a copy of your book, The Plant-Based Nutrition? How's it going to change your life? And then also, you provide coaching. So, if somebody wants to reach out to you for some coaching information, how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, if they want to get hold of me, they can go on my website, which is oliviermankondo.com. That's oliviermankondo.com. And over there, they will be able, first of all, they can see I've got an 8-step weight loss and wellness program that they can go on my website and they will see that. And with that weight loss program, it's not only a weight loss program, but it's packed with lots of powerful insights that they can, if they put that in practice, they will be able to have optimal health. So it's not really a diet, but it's a lifestyle change that they can expect from that. And if they want, they can, to have my book, they can go on Amazon. So the book is on sale on Amazon. They can have the book over there. And they can reach me as well on if they want, they can go on YouTube. I've got a YouTube channel where I put a lot of videos where I speak about all this stuff, where they can get all this knowledge, where I share all this knowledge.
And you're available as a keynote speaker as well. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I'm doing keynote speaks as well. It's just because with the lockdowns, all the place where I was supposed to speak, or it's been canceled. Yeah, but I
Yeah.
speak as well. I'm a speaker, so people can reach out as well if they want me to speak in their event. Yeah.
Okay.
That's great.
Awesome. We all reach out. I know you can, and we will put the spelling of your name and website up on our show notes as well, where people can reach out and find you. So, thanks again. Like I said, we're looking forward to it. Y'all reach out to Olivier and let him give you a hand if you're thinking about the plant-based nutrition. So that's going to do it for another episode of Feeding Fatty. Of course, I am Roy.
It's Terry.
And you can find us at www.feedingfatty.com. We're on all the major social media platforms, as well as a live video of this episode will go up on YouTube once the episode goes live. So until next time, y'all take care of yourself.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.